Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com. Thanks for joining me today. In this video, I am sharing a Christmas card using the Holiday Home Set with the All Is Calm Designer Series paper, and it's a wintry scene, so let's take a look. Okay, we're going to be using the Holiday Home Photopolymer set from the Stampin' Up! Holiday Catalog, and I'm starting with a base of Whisper White, and it's a standard size card cut at 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm getting a piece of the All Is Calm Designer Series paper. It's beautiful paper from the Holiday Catalog, and I've cut a 2" by 4¼ inch piece and then a 1" piece. So I'm going to layer these, and I'm going to have them here at the bottom of the card, but I found it easier to just layer on top of this. I need plenty of room for stamping, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere these together, and it's just to give a border and a different color to set off the images from the rest of the designer paper and add a little bit more interest to the card. Now, before I adhere it to the card, I am going to take a pencil and mark my area for stamping. This is just so I don't get too low or too high from where the border is going to be. And while I have my paper out here, I'm going to add a little bit of baker's twine. You could add any kind of ribbon here, or put another thin strip of solid colored cardstock to border the two designer papers. I just chose to use this to go with the white in the base of the card and in the designer paper. This is a specialty paper. It has some one-sided sheets in it that have metallic silver accents. It's really, really pretty. The whole suite is. The All Is Calm suite. Just love it. So I'm going to tie a bow, and then we're going to set this aside and do some stamping. Now I've mounted my little houses from the Holiday Home set on clear blocks already. I'm going to set that aside and play with it later. And I'm going to take my first one, this tall house, and I'm using Pear Pizzazz, and I'm using my marker on this one. I don't have my Pear Pizzazz stamp pad with me. So I'm just going to color the image on the lines of the stamp, and then I'm going to come and line my card up on the grid paper and just stamp above that line that I drew. Okay, and then for the next house, I'm going to use Lost Lagoon, which is another color in the designer paper, and this is the shortest of the three houses, and I'm going to put that in the middle. Easy stamping. And then the other house that has like a Victorian looking feel, and I'm inking this up with Pool Party, which is a very light pale blue. It's beautiful, but it's another color within the designer paper series, and I'm just going to line it up right there. Okay, so there we have our little neighborhood, and I have a little Christmas tree from the set that I'm going to color with my Pear Pizzazz. And I need to adhere that a little better. I'm just going to brush this on. And I'm going to stamp this over here in this white space. Okay. And then also the little wreath that's from the set. I'm going to put that in Pear Pizzazz. So your time saver here is that you're using just basic stamping. There's not really any coloring except for your stamps if you're using your markers. And you're using the same three colors that all coordinate with the designer paper. Okay, let's see. I think I'm going to get my sentiment that I've already stamped and punched, and I think I'm going to put that there. But before I do that, I want to fill in some of that white space, and I have the little snowflakes that are in the Holiday Home set, and I'm just going to ink those up and randomly stamp in the sky. And that adds some interest and gives it that snowy feel. And these type of cards here, you can really step them up. I'll show you a stepped up version here in a minute. This is just one of those cards that if you're making all of your Christmas cards for the season, that you might want to just do something like this that's not a lot of cutting, but just basic stamping. Okay, let me see if I can get my bow tied this time, and I'm going to adhere it to the front of the card, and then that's going to be done except for the sentiment. What I did with the sentiment, I believe it says Merry Christmas. What does it say? From our home to yours at Christmas time. I stamped it on Whisper White, and I colored it with I stamped it on Lost Lagoon ink, stamped it on Whisper White, and then punched it with a modern label punch. And I'm just going to put that there, and it's popped up a little bit for interest. And now I can put my designer paper and attach that to the bottom, and I can play with that bow a little more later. I believe I'm going to trim it up a little bit. But you see how you've got like a border now, and gives the house, it's a grounding for the houses. And I think the colors and everything just coordinate so beautifully. Okay, here's another one that I did. And it's basically the same, but I did a little bit more stamping here. I put the Christmas tree inside the window, and what I did is I masked with Post-its here and here, and then I took my stamp and stamped where the tree looked like it was the Christmas tree inside of the house. And then this one is a little more stepped up. The houses are cut with the holiday home framelits. And I put a few of the snowflake sequins here and just a little bit more detail. And but you can see that whichever way you go, you're going to have a beautiful card to send to someone. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that card today. And so you can see you can just do some basic stamping and have a wonderful looking Christmas card, or step it up a notch with some embellishments and some cutting with framelits and have a really special card. So I hope you enjoyed that. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you again next week with another card idea. Take care. Bye-bye.